Now, hello. Now, I don't know how this video is going to go, and hold on. Hello. Now, I don't know how this video is going to go. It is exactly 6 p.m. on Sunday, and I'm driving to the south of France. Now, right now, I'm in central London. I'm wearing the MRG Square. This is the MRG B5000B, which denotes it's the black one with the gold detail. And hold on a second, maybe I can take this off. There we go. You might be able to see it. There you go. And it's got the this one has the gold detailing on the back. Now, so I'm in traffic and I'm driving to the south of France, so it's going to be very interesting. Now, I expect the whole journey to be about 20 hours, and I'm going from central London to Dover to pick up a car ferry that will take me across to Calais, and then Calais to Paris, Paris to the south of France. Now, it all sounds lovely, and it is lovely. And I've chosen this time of the day because I capture the light driving to the ferry, and if I'm very lucky, I'll catch the end of the day on the ferry. And then, unfortunately, when I hit Paris, it's going to be dark. But then, in the mid-central of Paris, the middle of France, I'm going to catch the daybreak, and it's going to be lovely. But the whole thing takes about 20 hours, so I do get very, very tired. So when I'm very tired, I probably won't have the energy to make a video or anything. But on the way down, because I've got so much time, I want to talk about G-Shock, and I want to talk about wristwatches. And I thought to myself, why don't I do that as I'm driving this car, and you know, it's something to do. So this is the first video, and like always, I only do one take. I never know how these things are going to go, and I'm hoping to provide some interesting content as I'm driving down, and I'll be able to drive and talk to the camera at the same time. So that's the theory. Anyway, let's see how I get on. And already I've got a coffee. In fact, I have 2 coffees, and I plan to have the second before I get to Dover. And in actual fact, today I haven't had any coffee because I don't want to disrupt my driving, and so I've waited until today. This is it's roughly 6 p.m. and when I have these 2 coffees, it's probably going to give me all the caffeine I need to get me on most of the journey. Actually, it'll certainly get me to. Oh, I'm just following sat-nav here. It's taking me through a different part of central London, but I'm sure that sat-nav, the Apple Maps, knows what it's doing, and it's worked out the fastest route, because as I understand it, I'm going to go straight through the central the centre of London. Anyway, I'll say ciao for now, and I'll flick the video on when I can concentrate a bit more, and there's something for me to show you, and perhaps something to see. So let's speak soon. I forgot to mention, I just thought this video is going to be called G-Shock Goes from the UK to France, and chat along the way, or something like that. But what is so interesting is sat-nav has brought me through the middle of London. I'm literally Hyde Park is on my right here, and it's going to take me to Marble Arch, and then take me right down Marble Arch towards Buckingham Palace. So knowing G-Shock, how cool everything associated with G-Shock ends up to be cool. Just think about it. I'm in the UK, I'm in central London, I'm going to basically the south of France, near Toulouse. It's a long way, it's about 800 miles. And I set off, and my Apple sat-nav here says, "Hey, sunshine, I am taking you through the centre of London. You couldn't be more central. Park Lane, Buckingham Palace, and then over one of the bridges." And if you look at the map, it is quite direct. But I am picking up the Sunday evening traffic, and this traffic is quite bad. But I know that Apple will have factored in the times, and so hopefully the time I've got here accounts for the heavy traffic that I'm going to be subject to. Anyway, bye for now. You see, if I had actually planned this, I would, on my display here, I would have written down, I would have notes of conversation topics, and instead I haven't done a single thing. What I did manage to do was prepare 2 fresh coffees, and because I am still in solid traffic near Hyde Park and Marble Arch, I thought, why don't I start chatting about wristwatches and G-Shock. Now, as I was so I've got some watches with me, and because this is titanium, one of the positive aspects about titanium as a watch material is that its ability, its temperature properties, it does conduct heat, but it's probably not as good as steel, which means it's cooler to wear, so it takes less heat from you, but it probably dissipates less heat as well. But one of the experiences wearing titanium is it tends to be cool, and because it's on a metal strap, and because it's very hot at the moment, it's wearing very, very well. And I thought it matched the interior of the car, being a dark colour, and the MRG is dark with a thin red line, and I do like it. Hold on, I'm now moving. So I'm just approaching Hyde Park Corner. Me and G-Shock are approaching Marble Arch. Not Hyde Park Corner, this is Marble Arch. And I am, even though there's plenty of traffic, because London has the traffic organising very well, you sort of keep moving, but but you move along slowly, but at least you are moving. But I always think it's amazing that I am in central London, and I'm sat in this car going to the south of France, and it takes me through central London. So it makes the journey very delightful, actually. Well, he says that when I am as fresh as a daisy, and I've been sleeping all day. In about 20 hours time, when I press play on the video, you are going to see a huge difference. I am going to look like I've been hit by that bus, and this is not going to be pretty. But what I really must do is, it's nice here, and I'm hopefully you're capturing some of the scenery. But because I'm now driving and the traffic is a little more active, I'd better concentrate on that, but I will come back. I suppose what I should do is quickly show you the traffic. Hold on. There you go, the traffic's pretty bad actually, although that Porsche is very, very cool. Anyway, now unfortunately I think there must be election protests or something taking place, so I am actually going around Buckingham Palace, not down the road that I thought I would. And the thing with London is the traffic and roadworks are so obviously going to happen, that you always have to really think about those things. And but the sat-nav seems to be doing rather well, and I'm still behind this Porsche Panamera. Now, I'm not that much of a car guy, but I do like cars, and I thought to myself, why don't I talk about cars just for a moment? Really, I'm a little bit of a technical geek, and my preference is most definitely electric vehicles. So Tesla has always got my attention because they were the first, to really industrialize electric cars. Now, when it comes to petrol cars, I've always thought that German cars and Japanese cars were very good because of their reputation and their reliability history. But I did think that German cars were expensive. But the design that I've always liked is Porsche, and if I had a gun to my head and I had to offer an opinion on what I thought was the best car today, the best car design, it's probably going to be Porsche, the Porsche Panamera, the Porsche Cayenne, the slightly larger. And as I understand it, all these models are offered as electric, or at least hybrid, and the hybrid models are always, the spec is always very, very good. And every time I see the Porsche on the road, I always think, yes, if I'm in the market to buy another car, Porsche has to be the car that I'm really interested in. Then I have to say, look, I do like Audi, because I keep meeting some nice looking Audis, but then when I see a Porsche Cayenne or the Porsche Panamera, straight away I think, oh, Porsche is rather cool. And there's something good about the name Porsche. Maybe that's a silly thing, but I probably am a Porsche guy, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if I had to make a decision, I think that's where I'm going. Now, I do have to think just for a moment, and okay, yeah, you have to be very careful driving in London. You've always got to drive defensively, because there is that much going on. Anyway, because I've said that, I'll just knock off the camera. I have to say, Apple Maps, the sat-nav, is very good. I'm whizzing through London, really, considering it's there's plenty of traffic here, and I'm about to go over, I think it's Lambeth Bridge, and I feel to be on the way, and also my projected time is looking okay, although it does indicate some traffic. And yeah, I just wanted to finish chatting about cars, because obviously there are so many very good cars on the road, and and really, I think a lot of cars look very, very good. Porsche is the one that I probably gravitate the most towards, and every time I think, if money is no object, I'm going to get a Porsche. There's no doubt about it. I don't really want a Rolls Royce. I don't want a Ferrari. I don't want a McLaren or anything like that. The only car that I'm really interested in is Porsche, and it would either be the Panamera or the Cayenne, the larger thing. And I thought that was very, very interesting. But saying that, if you're on a budget, and I am on a budget, my decision making around what car you buy is completely different, because I take into factor the value. So things like running cost, what the car can do, efficiency, all become very, very important. And at that point, I'm very quickly, because the designs, I tend to like them all, I'm really bothered about the cost, the running costs, and the efficiency, and also technical things like does it have USB-C ports inside the car, and is there a nice place to put your iPhone and other devices, and is it economical, so is the car lightweight, and because the weight of a car has a huge impact on its fuel efficiency or battery range. Now, I haven't mentioned petrol or electric yet, and I suppose I really should. I know that electric and petrol can be Marmite. I know that some people love the idea of petrol. They hate the idea of electric because with petrol they feel like they're driving a machine. You can change gears and the experience is more man-machine. For me, I really don't like that because I think, why on this earth would I be wanting to change gear or have an engine in the front or the back that's burning hydrocarbons? For me, my mind thinks I'm much rather a battery for driving a very efficient electric motor, pushing the mass along that way. So I know that's a very geeky thing to say, but it probably is a real thing, so it's worth me saying it. So straight away, I am more bothered about, is the car electric and what is the range? And as we go into the future, those are the range is the one thing I'm most bothered about, and also the efficiency. And the efficiency is probably down to the weight of the thing. So I'm not even that bothered about, when we come to that, on a budget, if I have to choose, the weight of the car, the efficiency and the range, because it is likely to be electric, are the determining factors. But if you allow physics to design the car, it's basically going to look like a teardrop because the drag coefficient is going to be the least amount. So I suppose there's not a lot you can do with design if you're just faced with basically a teardrop. But anyway, okay, the traffic is just heating up, so I better just concentrate. Okay, so last bit of it's my last chat about cars. Right now I'm in a petrol car, and I have done this journey before in an electric car, and there's one thing that really stands out, and that is the range anxiety, because an electric car, the one that I was driving, that even though the range was good, it wasn't anywhere near as good as the petrol car, and that is a big deal. But it is much less of a deal today because there are more charge points. But when you are going on long journeys like that, you do need to factor in the charging, because as with a petrol car, if you stop to refuel, it takes you about 3 minutes, 5 minutes to refuel the car and pay for it. With an electric car, 5 minutes is going to do nothing. Depending on your range, etc. You have to factor in that you're going to be there for about 30 minutes. Now, if you're on a long journey like this one, 20 hours, that 20 hours would turn into approximately 23 hours minimum. So you would, a journey like this, yeah, you're going to pick up another 3 hours of standstill where you're charging. Now, if you're in a nice location and you stop to charge for 30 minutes, and there happens to be a coffee shop close by, or you want to text or laptop, it's totally fine. It breaks up the journey, you can go for a walk, especially if you're in a nice area. And I have before stopped to charge and the area has been gorgeous, so it's been a lovely opportunity to go and grab a coffee, eat something, check text messages, email something, and so it really hasn't been a problem. But that is the one and perhaps the only big factor that you have to think about when it comes to petrol and electric, for now anyway. I expect in the future that the range of electric cars will be parity with petrol cars. So a petrol car today, when you fill up the tank, it's designed to go between 500 and 600 miles on a full tank of petrol. An electric car today, the base models will do about 250 miles. And the extra range will do between 350 and 400 miles. And I do think you really do need the 350, 400 mile range version. especially if you think you're going to travel on long journeys, because the 250-mile range, it's okay, it does work, as long as you accept that you will be stopping for these half-an-hour breaks. That's fine, but you do want a battery that breaks that 300-mile range, 350 to 400, and if you drive carefully at 450 miles, that really is the option with an electric car. Anyway, that's my little bit of chit-chat about cars. I like Porsche, I like electric, and I like them to be as efficient as possible. There you go. So what I might do is, you're not going to believe this, but I've actually got some watches here. So what I may do is swap this MRG square for another square, but the Captain America. Check that out. And someone watching my video said, hey, Master Watch, it looks like the colorway reminds me of Captain America. And I thought, that is such a good name. And I thought, I'm going to call these two 50th anniversary blue and gold models, this and the Casio-tron, I'm going to call them the Captain Americas, because I thought the name is so cool. And so there you go. This is the Captain America. Maybe I can, whilst I'm just at the red light, because the light might be good. Look at that. I love the blue and gold because I think it matches everything. And these squares, they just provide so much enjoyment. I mean, you can see I'm a real geek, and I have no friends, but I do have a few friends that they're called Casio G-Shocks, and these friends are a lot better than human beings, because what they don't do is bore me senseless with an opinion and conversation that conflicts with my opinion, driving me nuts. So I love hanging out with these buddies of mine, and I've got a few of them, and they're all on the front seat here, so I can grab them as I'm driving along and show them to you guys and drive you crazy with boredom, showing you these watches. Or you could press play and use this video as a cure for insomnia. I'm pretty sure it will put you to sleep. But I've got the Captain American here, and it is cool. It is really, really cool. And also, I did a video on this watch, and in that video I offered an opinion that it was going to sell out. And I think Casio G-Shock had originally 30 online, and in the first day I think about 10 went, and I think I bought this on the second day, and the number was about 18, 17, something like that, and that was Thursday. And I'd said to someone, or I said it in the video, I think these watches will have all sold out by Friday. And then sure enough, I got a message from someone, and he said, they've all sold out. And I checked, and sure enough, they'd all gone. And that was about lunchtime on Friday. So that would have been Wednesday night, all day Thursday. So roughly 2 days, 30 of these online, they've all gone. Now I imagine that Carnaby Street, G-Shock in London, will have had some, but I've got a feeling that they've all sold out as well, because the same thing happened with the C-Tron. But the C-Tron, I think, actually sold out quicker. I think they'd all gone by the second day. This, they'd all gone by the third day, and I knew they would. And when Casio says limited edition, that's when they say that, they mean it. They will not be restocking, I don't think. But yeah, I received a couple of messages from people, and they were very pleased that they'd got an order in. And one of the guys I spoke to, he must have got his order in when the watches left were only 2, because the time I spoke to him, he said, I've just bought it, and when I looked online, it said there were only 2 left. And I thought, how exciting. You know, it really is quite exciting. This is what you call retail therapy that works. It works really well, you know, having to wait and be under pressure, you know, to spend your own money. It is really quite interesting. Anyway, this is the Captain America Square, and I better concentrate once again. Hold on. I have to say, driving through London on a busy summer's Sunday evening, it hasn't been that bad. I've had to stop at traffic lights and I've been in stationary traffic, but to be honest, maybe the weather and this fresh coffee is giving me a positive disposition. But I have to say that the traffic, it has not been that bad at all. And plus the route through London that I'm driving through, I mean, it is quite nice. I have to say that. It's very pleasant. I'm viewing pubs with gardens at the front and people having a Sunday night drink. It is very nice. And at times like that I feel very lucky to be in London, although I don't really consider myself a city person or a Londoner. I know that might not be a correct statement because I sort of live here, but I have to say, you know, it is quite nice. And London is huge because I've been going, how long have I been in the car now? 45 minutes. And you know, I've been in London the whole time, but I've been going through the centre, and the traffic is, you know, pretty. But I feel like I'm getting closer to the motorways, and they are going to then zoom me down to the port of Dover. And if I'm very lucky, I am going to catch my ferry. Now, I've double checked that if I miss this ferry, I might have to wait a couple of hours for the next ferry, and that will be a little bit frustrating because I'll be sat there doing nothing. But I suppose it could give me the opportunity to chat about watches and G-Shock. But if I start to get tired, I don't think I'm going to be in the mood. And this is why I thought I'd quickly create some content right now. And I'm at the traffic lights now. So let me show you the Square Captain America and the C-Tron Captain America. And I equally like these two, but I've got a feeling that I might even prefer the C-Tron, and I don't really know why, because it's a smaller watch and I'm not really a small watch person. But I think the colorway proportions on the dial are absolutely super. I mean, they really are. There's the right amount of blue and gold all over the place, and maybe you can see that. But there's something very cool about this C-Tron, and I've got a feeling I'm going to wear it with a shirt when I go to meetings, and I'm going to really show it off, and you know, things like that. Actually, my eyes have just seen what else is on the chair there, and I'll pick it up as soon as I get to stationary traffic. And yeah, actually I will hold on. Do you know, I've just let out this truck because I always let trucks out, actually, because you know, life is hard enough, and you know, in busy traffic, you know, a big truck, it's a real, you know, life's tough anyway. Getting the truck out into the, you know, oncoming traffic's a pain. So I do let trucks out. I don't let people out. I think, you silly human being, you should, you know, let the cars zoom past you. You know, you should wait for there to be a break in the traffic. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to speed up if I see people trying to make me stop. But a truck, I will definitely stop because I feel sorry for the truck driver. Anyway, you know, I'm not even sure where I am, but it's very, very nice. But I better concentrate on driving just for a moment. Very quickly, I want to talk about buying watches. Now, from a jokey point of view, I do agree with Archie Luxury. Because watches are so cool, I do think to obtain the watch that your heart desires, I think you should consider getting a third or fourth job, and I do think you should get a fourth or fifth credit card, and I think you should max it out and get the watch that your heart desires. Now, because I think watches are so cool and they provide you with so much happiness, and also they provide you with friendship. They don't talk back to you, they don't offer you their opinion about anything, they don't annoy you, and when you put them down, they don't cry. So this is why watches, I think, are a really good purchase. Now, obviously, you know, I'm joking a little bit, not fully. I do think that that watches will make your life better. For about 5 minutes. But okay, so let's be serious just for a moment. Watches are expensive things, actually. Even cheaper watches, in actual fact, they are expensive, because these days, if you own a smartphone, or any phone actually, or electrical device, they all have the time on them. So you no longer really need to watch for the time. And also, if it's an Apple product, you can very quickly access a timer or a stopwatch or the alarm. So you don't really need a watch for that. So that puts the watch into a bit of an odd category. I think it really falls into the art category, in particular mechanical art, because that's what it is. It's a bit of machinery and it's artistic. It has a job, but its purpose is probably more emotional. And so these are the drivers for why a person, buys a wristwatch, especially the expensive wristwatches. There's a bit of psychology there. Why on earth is a person spending £20,000 on a watch, or why is a person spending £100,000 on a watch? And believe me, many people do spend these amounts on watches. So that's very interesting. I also think that there is you can take a view from a wristwatch can indicate a person's disposable income. You can actually look at statistics and look at how many watches are bought, and you could roughly work out from a person's collection, what their disposable income might be, how much value they put on their collection, and how much spare cash they might have. And so when you put a watch on your credit card, it can mean that you're maxed out a little bit, because that's what credit cards in effect indicate. It's what they indicate to the bank and to your government. It will indicate how much disposable income you have. Because you're using a credit card, it means that you perhaps don't have the money saved up. Not always. Credit cards do offer some other utility, like insurance and a bit of safety and security around purchasing. So a credit card isn't all bad, and some are much better than others. But what I want to say is, when you are thinking about a watch and you're prepared to put that watch on a credit card, that is fine, but do make sure that you are not missing out on things like paying your rent, or paying your mortgage, or eating proper food. That's where there can be a problem, and believe me, that does happen for watch enthusiasts. People have had to sell one or two watches in their collection because they might have lost their job, and mortgages coming up, and they've only got a month's money really saved up, and so they're having to sell one of their prized possessions, their wristwatch, one of them, to release the cash, the value in that, so they can pay rent or mortgage. So it's one of those tricky things to work out. How much money are you really going to put aside for a timepiece? Now, obviously, if you've got loads of cash and you're not really a big user of credit cards, you don't really need that facility, what you may have already be doing is simply totaling what you're prepared to spend on a watch. You have your budget, it's very clear, and that's what you will spend. And hold on one second. And so therefore you don't have to think this through. You'll have a budget and you'll stick to it that way. And I suppose that's a very nice thing to do. But if you are going to use a credit card, or you are going to save up, and saving up is the one thing that I really urge you to do. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do actually, because I don't know anything. I'm a bit of an idiot myself. But what I have said to people before is, if you think you want this Rolex or this IWC, or you want this MRG, because these are expensive watches, and perhaps you don't really have enough for them, what I have said, what I've found myself saying to people is, cool, keep your eyes focused on the Rolex or the IWC or the MRG, and simply save for it. And now, if it's going to take you a few months to save for it, that is absolutely fine. But even if it's going to take you 1 year to save for it, I think you should do that instead of buying a cheaper watch. Because when you buy a cheaper watch, but that's not really the watch that you want, I find that you tend to regret it. And also, you then tend to buy the watch that you want anyway, having to save up for it. And perhaps you don't use the cheaper watch, or maybe you sell it at a loss. So I really feel that saving for the watch not only gets you the watch that you really want, but the process of saving actually forces you to decide whether or not you really want that watch. Because from my own experience, when I've saved for a watch, I have found that 2 or 3 months in, my desire for that watch has changed. And I've been saving 2 months, and I've thought, well, actually I still want a watch, but not the original watch I was thinking of. I want another watch. And that's when the process of saving actually becomes a real high value, because you haven't lost anything, you are saving for the thing, plus your choice has changed. And because we're human and very unreliable, believe me, your opinion and your likes are going to change. And so the process of saving actually forces a better decision, a better use of that money that you've saved up. Anyway, that's my point. If you have to save for a watch, definitely save. Do not compromise and buy a cheaper watch. Simply save for the watch that you really want. Because if at the end of your saving period you've got enough money for that watch and you buy that watch, you are really going to enjoy it a lot more than you realise. Instead of maxing your credit cards out and getting it that way, definitely save for watches. So I've been driving exactly 1 hour and 5 minutes now, and I'm not even sure where I am. I'm the south part of London. I'm in a bit of traffic here, but Apple Maps is convincing me that I'm on the right track. The estimated time of arrival at Dover is the same, and nothing to worry about. But I'm 1 hour in, and I'm also 1 coffee in. And as you can imagine, that coffee, 1 hour of driving already, and I already need the bathroom. And that's one of the other things that you have to think about when you're planning these monstrous G-Shock 20-hour travel journeys. You've got to think to yourself, hold on, what am I eating, and where am I going to go to the bathroom? And I mentioned cars a little earlier. If you're electric car, brilliant, you can go to the bathroom, take your time, there's no problem there. And the same with petrol. When you stop at a gas station, a petrol station, you can go to the loo then. Anyway, so 1 hour in, I was really hoping that I wouldn't need the bathroom. I was waiting, I'd get the bathroom on the ferry. And what I'm going to try and do is wait for the ferry, but my Apple Maps tells me that I've got another 1 hour 27 minutes in this car on my current vector of travel. Now, will my bladder hold out an hour and 27 minutes? I do not know. But I'm going to go for it. But if it gets any more excruciating, my ability to chat about watches and show you Captain America's is going to diminish. So I might have to go to the bathroom. Can you believe how interesting this video is? I am chatting about my need for the bathroom. We are that good. Okay, there's traffic, hold on. So once again, and I suppose I should have perhaps said this at the very beginning, G-Shock is going from central London to the south of France, near Toulouse, and the car journey is about 20 hours. And you guys, I thought to myself, why don't I take you with me by putting this silly camera right there, and then I can chat to it as I'm driving along and take you with me. So that's what's happening. You are coming on this 20-hour journey, me and my G-Shock friends, and we're going from central London to south of France. So I'm going to do a very quick pit stop. Okay, the traffic's moving, hold on. The pit stop is, I'm going to quickly change the Captain America square for the big hitter, Mr. MRG. Now look at that for a wristwatch. Now this is a very unusual asymmetric monster because it's big, it's very thick, and it's one of the more expensive pieces, and it has an unusual look. But my goodness, is this a cool watch? And I'll come back in a moment. Whenever the traffic heats up, I tend to switch off the camera at that point because I want to concentrate on what I'm doing. And but the frog, this is brilliant. Now I've made a mistake with this frog because the yellow one with the yellow strap and the bracelet, and I even had it in my hand, I didn't get it, and they've all sold out now, and now I really regret it because I think that is a piece that is really very desirable. It's basically this, but with a bracelet and also an additional yellow strap, so just like this, but the indices and the detailing on the dial are gold and yellow, and I really, it's one of those regrets. I can't believe that my decision making dismissed it. Even when I had it in my hand at the G-Shock store, I decided that I preferred this blue one. Now, one of the options I have is to actually get the bracelet for the yellow one for this, even though it has a bit of gold detail here, because that gold is the same colorway as the MRG gold detail on the dial. So the strap will match this. But then I thought, if I actually got the yellow Frogman at the same time as I got this, all the straps are interchangeable. Well, not really the yellow one on here, but the metal bracelet on here, and then of course it has its own strap. But this strap would have also gone very well on the yellow frog. So that's one of my regrets, and I really regret it. I had a look the other day to see if I could locate a new one in stock, and the only new ones that are for sale are on the grey market, and they're much more expensive. They're way more. I mean, they're very expensive, and I'm one of those people that for some reason I just will not pay over retail. Something in my mind switches off, and I think, it's gone. I'm not paying over retail. I should have bought the thing, when I had the chance. And this is the Frogman has always been Casio G-Shock's premium product. You know, it's very loved by the G-Shock fans and the collectors. And this is the A1000 analog version. So the analog part is a new iteration of the Frogman. And so what Casio have done is that they've given this the MRG treatment and wrapped the thing in titanium and then high quality rubber, so it looks like this. Now, of course, it is thick, and that leads me on to another subject that I will get to about thin watches. I really don't like thin watches. I don't know, I just don't like them because I think the material integrity, if a watch is too thin, it will have no integrity. And if you flex your arm wearing a thin watch, you're going to flex the case and you're going to pop out the crystal. Now, of course, G-Shocks are built like a tank, so you know this thing is over-engineered, overbuilt, oversized. Everything starts with over, and I want to show you the watch there. I mean, doesn't that look like a utility thing? It looks like it has purpose. And for me driving, because the hour hand, the hour and minute hand are so legible, you know, I can see the time very clearly, and it's a great driving watch. And I tend to wear this, you know, on this journey, and when I'm on long journeys, because the hands are so, and when it gets dark, I can see the time so easily. So at this point, this is the Casio Frogman. It is so cool, and I really wish that I had the yellow one, and I so wish missing that. And yeah, and also I'd have had two, and you know, I'm one of those people that seems to have two. You know, if there's a watch and there's another colourway, I tend to want both. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate on the traffic here, and I'll come back. Okay, so I thought I'm going to do a quick watch change. So we're going to go from the Frog, which is it is one of my favourite watches actually, and but I do have some other big Teds here. Now I'm going to pull out the big guns, and I should ask people, what do you think is a big gun? And okay, I can hear you screaming and shouting, show me, show me. Okay, I'm going to show you G-Shock's, one of G-Shock's biggest gun. Is it the biggest one? I don't know, but it's definitely a big one. But there it is. That is the Square Porter that came out in 2018 and was a celebration of G-Shock's 35 years. And I'm just having to keep my eye on traffic here because we're okay, but I just want to be very certain. There you go. I'm going to get into this lane. And there you go, the Porter. Now, G-Shock fans are going to recognise this, and the thin red line. This has the original colourway of the very first G-Shock Square that had a metal case, a screw back, a thin red line, a brick pattern, and was resin colour, was a dark grey black resin colour. And so this was G-Shock's 35th anniversary Porter model. It's called the Porter because when it was released, it came with a Porter carry bag. And when I got that carry bag, I actually thought I'm not going to use it, and I sold it because I thought I'm not going to use the thing. And what a mistake that was, because they're very collectible now, and you know it was very they were very expensive to buy as well. Anyway, but the watch, look at that. This is still one of my favourite watches, and I wear it on occasion. I wear it mainly to show off. I mean, I'm not showing off to anyone really. In fact, no one knows what it is apart from me. But when I was picking up some watches to drive down, I thought, you know, the porter needs to be there, because if I am, you know, in the French heat and sunshine, I do like wearing this because it's metal. The bracelet fits perfectly. It allows for me being a bit hot and sweaty, and the porter is great. And because we've got daylight, I can still see the screen very, very well. And every time I look at it, I think it is so cool. And of course, it is very similar to the MRG that I wore at the very beginning, because that has the shimmering thin red line. This red line is muted. It doesn't shimmer like the MRG. And once again, it's those bits of detail that I really like when looking at G-Shocks. In fact, looking at all watches, I do notice absolutely every single micron of detail on the movement or the display or the materials, because these are really pieces of artwork. They provide, and they have so much visual interest, but also so much technical interest. Now, this really, even though it's a cool 1980s designed digital watch, and that is another thing about this design is now 40 years old, and it's still strong. This design is still one of G-Shock's biggest sellers, and they keep reiterating colorways of this, different designs of this, and the design's 40 years old. I suppose it's a little bit like the Porsche Carrera, because even today you can possibly see the signature of design. But I mean, that is identical really to the original Square that was released in 1983, and so we have this. But from a technology point of view, what they've done is they've put today's top engineering in the design of the module that drives the monochrome display. So this is rechargeable, so it has a solar cell, which is actually the brick pattern that you can barely see, but that is a solar panel that charges up a rechargeable battery that's going to last approximately 15 years minimum inside this watch, and then you can replace the battery and it's going to last another 15 years. But it also has Bluetooth, it has 5 alarms, I think, it has a timer, stopwatch, and a world time function. And those are the things that I actually use. I use every single function on this watch today. And the bit that I really enjoy is the fact that the battery is rechargeable, but you don't really have to think about, you don't plug it in or anything. The light itself, the sunshine, is the thing that charges up this watch. And because I know that it's going to function for 15 years no problem, and then I'm probably going to have another 15 years, that's 30 years that this watch is going to sort of function and be fine. And for me, that is a big draw. And I still keep thinking, what is it about digital watches that I like? What is it about the G-Shock Square that I obviously like so much? Because there must be something in it. And I do keep wearing it. Now, I do have mechanical watches and I do like them. But if the truth be known, G-Shock seems to win my attention every time. And over the years, I've actually sold my entire collection, and I've really had a detox from wristwatches. And then I've started to buy them again. And I look at myself and I think, what am I doing? Is this an affliction? And then you chat to other people and you find out that they're just like you, and they're watch enthusiasts also, and the whole thing is very delightful. Anyway, I thought I'd quickly talk about the Porter, the G-Shock Square, and and it's one of my favourite watches, and I'm about to concentrate on the driving. So very quickly I'm zooming along the motorway, and I'm 50 miles away from the port of Dover, and that's approximately 1 hour. Now everything is fantastic, although if I'm over an hour I really run the risk of missing my ferry. But the other thing that really concerns me right now is my bladder. That coffee has probably got Mother Nature ticking away, and I need the bathroom. So I thought I would tell you, because it's basically a news flash. Anyway, I'm going to get back to concentrating on mind over matter, and just having a quick think on if I do stop, or if I can stop, or if I can survive 1 hour of driving. Right now I'm going to consider that I'm going to drive the whole way and just hopefully get to the ferry and use the bathroom then. Gosh, I'm a little tight. This is why when you're driving you need to always factor in loads of time for discrepancies, for traffic jams, for toilet breaks that I did not do, and I'm really faced with that as a problem right now, so I need to think about things. Okay, just to add, I need the loo, I really do, but if I stop for the toilet I think I'm definitely going to miss the ferry. So I've really gone and got myself tied up here, considering all the planning and preparation that I've done. I've got all my G-Shocks here, I've got food and all kinds of nice things prepared, and I've gone and got myself short of time. I'm lacking about 10 minutes, and there's no way I can make it up. I'm going to have to just carry on this vector, carry on with this speed, and hopefully the traffic at Dover, I'll be straight through to the passport control, etc., and then I'll be on that ferry. So the next 50 minutes I'm going to be I'm going to be sat here driving with my legs crossed, figuratively speaking. Whilst the road is sort of clear, and I need to take my mind off needing the bathroom, I thought I'm going to do a quick wheel change, and I'm going to take off the square porter here, and I'm going to look over to what's available. And I thought, why don't we go the Citron Captain America? There you go. And yeah, it matches my top, actually. I've just realised I'm such a fashion victim. I always decide what watch I'm going to wear, and then I decide which t-shirt I'm going to wear. So how geeky is that? But this is the Captain America Citron, and someone said that he also can see a gold hue on the bezel on the display, and you really can. And look at that! See how nice it is. It does look really good, doesn't it? And I thought I'm going to wear this perhaps until I get to Dover, and then I'm hopefully going to whiz through passport control. But I'm really doubting things, because the sail time, it depends if the sail time is the actual sail time, and I think it does. And switched over to the Frog because I want to see the time very clearly, and because it is actually, there's probably 15 minutes of daylight left, so I'm going to hit the ferry in the dark by the looks of things. And anyway, I wanted to see the time, and I forgot what on earth I was going to talk about. I'm only 35 minutes away, and gosh, I can't remember what on earth I was going to talk about. I do apologise. So, G-Shock Frogman and myself, we've just swung onto the last bit of fast road to Dover. I'm only 25 miles away, about 30 minutes. My legs are crossed. I'm desperate for the toilet, and I thought I should speak to camera because it'll take my mind off needing the bathroom. Now, I don't want to go any faster because I don't think the car could go much faster actually, and I have to accept there is a possibility that I'm going to miss this ferry, and so that made me think, why don't I tell you about it? Because everything else I've thought about, I'm prepared, and I even dilly-dallied back home before setting off. And why didn't I just set off 30 minutes earlier, or even 20 minutes earlier? All this pressure would have diminished, but now I'm having to sit here cross-legged and think of things to say. I'm sure that the need for the bathroom is impacting my ability to think, because all I can think about is the bathroom. Anyway, I do apologise. Anyway, let's see how I get on. Oh no, this is disappointing because I've been here a couple of minutes now, and we are at standstill, and I can't see anything moving. Oh dear. So that there is the ferry that I missed. That's the 8:45, and I can see it leaving. Oh dear me, I was a good 10-15 minutes late, so that really is my fault. But oh bugger, I've missed it. I missed the ferry, so I do have to wait 2 hours for the next one. But there is a cafe over there. I'm bursting for the toilet, and then I can think what on earth I am going to do. So I've just been to the bathroom. You have no idea how delightful that was. It was fabulous. And this is the toilet and at Dover, and I'm so fortunate. The place is empty. I've got this all to myself. How cool is that? And there is a Burger King. Now, should I treat myself to a Burger King? I do not know. What I will do is, let's go back to the car, because I've just gone through the last hour and a half of mayhem and desperation, needing the bathroom and trying to catch the 8:45. Oh, look at Mr. Seagull there. Look at him. Hi there, Mr. Seagull. How are you? Nice creature. Look at this. The place is empty, and that there is the motor vehicle I am driving, and I am the only person. Can you believe it? Anyway, I have to say, that bathroom stop, I feel like a new person, and the fact that I've got 2 hours, I have 2 hours to wait now, is I really do not mind, because in that car there is a coffee, and I actually have some food, and I can contemplate the meaning of life, and I can watch the sun go down. In fact, why don't I show you Dover Port once again? So this is Dover Port once again. Look at it. How lovely is that? And look at this, I am the only car here, I'm the only person. And this is the where I shall be going for the 11 o'clock crossing. I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? And but look at this is Dover. I love being here. For some reason, it gives me a very nice warm feeling. I don't know why, but isn't it surreal that I am the only person here? And there you go, 11 o'clock. I don't know what the number 1 stands for. It might be I am the only person that is waiting for a ferry. In fact, nope, there might be, that van might be for the ferry. And but let's look. It doesn't even have the one that I missed, but I saw the ferry leave. Anyway, look at that. This is where I've just come from. It's a cafe and bathroom. That was brilliant. Anyway, I shall now drink. I should now get that coffee that's waiting for me. I've switched seats. I'm in the passenger seat, and this coffee, that one has now been consumed. I've been to the bathroom. I feel like a different human being. I have 2 hours to wait, which is not the end of the world. I could have a little snooze. It means that I leave here at 11. I then arrive in Calais approximately 1.5 hours later, French time being half 1 in the morning. Then I shall drive to Paris, and because it's the middle of the night, Paris becomes gorgeous because it's empty, and sat-nav will take me straight through the middle of Paris, and it is lovely. I will perhaps have a pit stop there and grab some food, get some fuel, and then I shall head for the central of France, and around 5ish in the morning I'll see the sunrise. It will be lovely. And 1 second. Oh, that is great. So I actually feel quite I mean, I was really rushing there, wasn't I? And I could have stopped on the way, and that would have been the sensible thing to do, but I really pushed it. And on this occasion, you know, I probably pushed it too far, and you know, so I've missed my my ferry crossing. But it's not really going to be much of a problem, because it means that I will spend 2 more hours in daylight driving in the south of France, and it's going to be gorgeous. This is a really lovely journey, and I really like it. And so I've shown you Dover. Actually, you've got to see Dover, and I'm the only car here. But whilst I've got in this vehicle and opened this fresh coffee, 2 other vehicles have just come in, and they've parked next to me, and everyone is off over to Burger King. And I am so tempted to get a Burger King, but the thing is, I have a voucher for the ferry, and on the ferry they do fish and chips. And even though I'm craving for some junk food, i.e. a burger, I know that there are burgers and chips on this ferry, and I have a voucher, so I really must wait. So right now I'm going to just pause for a moment, because I feel really fortunate and lucky, and I feel very happy about everything, because I'm here in one piece, and I've now got plenty of time to contemplate the meaning of life. And that's going to be very nice. And also I can think about some watch content that I shall do now. Anyway, back in a moment. So hello. Now a few more cars are now in the behind me and at the side of me, and it's only 9:30, and I'll turn the camera around. So it's only 9:30, and I wanted to show you the sun setting. Because it is quite delightful, and yeah, once again I'm still pretty happy that that I'm here, even though I missed my crossing. You know, I'm still very happy that that I'm here, and this is all very good. But I thought I can feel that I'm getting ready for a snooze or something. I've got a little more time to to kill, because I imagine that we'll be boarding around 10:30. And yeah, anyway, just a quick hello. So I thought, what am I doing? I've got the frog back on because of its legibility, and let's see if I can get that in the camera shot there. You can see how it's so legible, and this has become my driving watch, and I do like it. As I'm zooming along, and a little bit later on I shall be zooming through Paris, I'll be watching the time. I've got it quite loose because it feels comfortable that way, but as I'm driving it's absolutely fine. But there you go, the frog. And I suppose what I could do is I have a feeling, in fact, let's talk about MRG and the G-Shock King. And I say that I can really feel I'm getting tired, but I'm totally fine. I've had coffee, and when I get onto that ferry, I'm going to have fish and chips or something. Anyway, it was one of the things that I'm sort of excited about. Is I think that that Casio is going to give the MRG treatment to the G-Shock King, the GX56 model, and with multiband it's called the GXW56. And I am going to do a video, well, I plan to do a video dedicated to that only. But what I'm excited about is, for me, I think this could be an exit watch. I need to talk about the exit watch, but I think if Casio does an MRG King, the part number will be something like MRG-56B for the titanium black version, and the MRG-56D for a silver version. Like what Casio did with the MRG B5000 series, the very first two D and B, the silver one and the black one. I think they could do that with the King. And I was thinking they could do a titanium bracelet like they did for the full metal MRG B5000. But what they might do is keep a rubber strap with a titanium body, and as they've done with the MRG B5000R, which is the titanium square MRG but with a rubber bracelet. And so imagine that colorway of the current MRG B5000R. And if I can remember, I'll pop a photo of that in right now. I hope I remember. I might not do, but there will be a video about this, and it's got me all excited because an MRG King, for some reason, is going to be my exit G-Shock. And when I say exit, I mean, you know, if I didn't buy any more watches, or perhaps if I didn't buy any more G-Shock watches, having the MRG version of the King for me would be a slam dunk. I would, because I think that is such an iconic, such a fabulous watch. Now I have owned a King before, the GXW56, the one with the positive display, and I really liked it, and I can't remember why I got rid of it. I might have given it to someone, or I might have sold it. But I remember chatting to a mum, and she wanted it for her daughter, and I thought, whoever the heck you are and your daughter, they must be the coolest people on the planet, because if your daughter wants a Casio G-Shock King, you know, I mean, this is so cool because it is a big watch, and on a female that's going to look large, but a watch enthusiast like me is going to love it, is going to think this is the coolest thing ever. So imagine that King, instead of a resin body, the body is titanium with the rubber buttons, and the rubber bracelet is still a rubber bracelet, or they could create a titanium bracelet like they did with the MRG Square. So just think about it, a titanium MRG King G-Shock, and I know that I would wear that thing and it would be the pride piece in my collection. I really think that would, you know, that for a while I'm going to feel like I'm at the top of the hill, the G-Shock hill, the crazy G-Shock hill, and it's the thing I want most of all. Now, so it's basically this, but a King style with a digital display. And I can imagine that they might use the exact same display as the current King, but make it a positive version. I hope they do, and I think they do upgrade the movement, the screen, the bezel, the display. That will be upgraded, and the movement itself will be upgraded to solid gold contacts on everything on the inside. But imagine that King resin case turned into titanium, and the additional detail that they'll apply to it, and the back case if they had that as gold like they did with the Square. Just imagine how cool that would be. And the more I think about it, the more I want to make the video, and I want Casio to make it if they haven't already got it on their drawing board, and they must have. Because I did message someone in Japan, and the response I got from them was they expect at some point an MRG King is going to be made, and so I was thrilled. The reason that I keep lighting up is because of that hoarding that's telling you not to do things, and that's why I keep changing colour. And so for me, I want to set about this enthusiasm for an MRG King, because I think that is G-Shock's. It's one of their most iconic, well, sorry, it's not one of the most, because the Square is the most iconic, but it is an iconic, cool wristwatch that definitely needs lots of attention because it's so cool. For me, I am saving up for that watch right now. Because if they don't release it this year because they haven't thought about it, when they see my video, they're going to put it on that drawing board and design the thing and get it made. But that could mean that we're a couple of years out. But if that's the case, I'm still in. An MRG King, an MRG 56 has got to be the coolest thing ever. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I'm still waiting to board this ferry, and I hope everyone's well. I'll come back. Maybe I'll video going into the ferry, but then I don't know what I will do. Anyway, speak again very soon. So I've just visited the port at Ferry bathroom and cafe thing, and I wanted to show you. Let me turn the camera around. So cars are coming off the ferry that I'm going to be catching. They're unloading now, and the sun has dropped, so it is dark here, but I think the camera will have it will have adjusted the lighting, but you can see all the cars whizzing away, and which is quite cool. And it's very nice here. I don't mind the last 2 hours at all, because it has been quite pleasant, and I've been able to drink my coffee and chill out and bore you guys to death. So it is very, very nice. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. It's very cool. Okay, so I am on the ferry, and I thought I would show you what it's like. Yeah, we're literally the first on. It's very nice. I'm very happy because I'm about to go and get fish and chips or something equivalent. I cannot wait. I am so pleased. Okay. So I'm on the ferry, and I'm just shooting the video whilst no one is around, but I'm heading towards the place where I get fish and chips. So just a quick look. Look at that. The great big shop. And I think I have seen a food market, but I'm going to take a look up here. So there's less people on this floor, and I think this is the place I'm heading. But I've just noticed we have bacon rolls and things like that, and a breakfast box. But there's the fish and chips. Anyway, let me choose something. Okay, this is how the frog and I roll. There is the promised fish and chips. This is going to be it's going to be so good. Okay, that was demolished. You have no idea how pleased I am. So, having eaten the fish and chips, I am so pleased, and I'm going to save a little bit of room in my tummy for perhaps some breakfast, but that is just before I get off the ferry. And then I will try to video the car getting off the ferry, and then to Paris. So in case I don't video again, I'm going to say I'm getting a little tired, and I've got about 14 hours of driving left, but that's going to be fine. It's going to be very fine. Anyway, speak again soon. So guys, arrived in Calais in France, and it's 1:45 in the morning, and I feel fine, but that's because of I had 2 coffees earlier, and I've just had fish and chips on the ferry, and that was very good. And yeah, so this is what Calais looks like. It's probably so similar to Dover, but there you go. And I thought I would show you the exit, because I think the French side is smarter, and I think it's newer also, but it feels a lot smarter and cleaner in France. And yeah, and what you're seeing now, I'm going to be on this road, driving along here now for the next 4 hours until I get to Paris. And the reason I'm going to Paris is because that will be the quickest way, and especially at this time of the night, because all the Paris traffic that will have disappeared. And so this is going to be a very nice drive, but it is almost 2 a.m. In France now, so I can't see an awful lot because it's night time, but it is still very nice. And yeah, so there you go. And merging on to the A16, A26, and to be really honest, I just tend to follow sat-nav, and and even though I've been here a few times now, I recognise it, but I'm really following Apple Maps sat-nav. It does seem very good. And look at this road. This is what you're greeted to when you come off the ferry in Calais. It's very, very nice. And yeah, I literally stay on this road now for the next couple of 100 miles until I get to Paris. I should turn the camera around. Before I turn the camera around, hopefully you can tell in the video that we are just starting to see the sunrise. Hopefully the because I thought it looked cool, and that's why I flicked the video on. Anyway, back again. I'm in another tunnel, so I thought I would show you this bit. I quite like these tunnels. There seems to be lots of them in Paris. Probably, directing the traffic more effectively, but it's very nice. I'm having to really concentrate. Okay, so it looks like on this occasion, sat-nav has taken me. So believe it or not, I'm through the centre of Paris, and my favourite little gas station. Sat-nav hasn't taken me, it's rerouted me on this quicker route, which is totally fine, but I'm going to miss that little gas station stop. But not to worry, I am now through the centre of Paris. I can't believe it. I have sort of whizzed through, and I thought I was going to be directed down by the river, and it's quite nice. Anyway, it hasn't happened, but my timing is going very well. It indicates that I've got about 6 hours left of driving, but I know that it's very it's understated. The journey is about another 8 hours, but that is totally fine, and I shall do that. I'm just watching the traffic around me. Okay, hold on. So I thought I would show you an approach to one of the péages. So in France, if you're on the big roads, they are toll roads, which means that they are very nice. But I'm approaching péage, and I thought, why don't I show you? And I think this I'm just picking up a ticket here, but because I'm on the right-hand side, I have to stop the car and actually get out. But I shall do that. So I shall just get out now. Hold on. Okay, got the ticket, and we are off. And so at this péage, I'm just collecting a ticket, and the next péage is when I will pay. And I pick up about 3 of these the whole way, sometimes 4, but I think 3. This is quite I'll be on this for a while now. Anyway, back to the large latte. So I've just stopped at a gas station, and I have the large latte that's needed. And that gas station I've actually stopped at before, and it's got to be the most expensive petrol station in France. And as I pulled up, I thought, oh no, it's the expensive one. And I was going to drive off, but I thought, it's not the end of the world. And I do remember the coffee there isn't bad. So I thought, okay, let's do this. Now it is 6:45 in the morning. The weather is gorgeous. I'm in my shorts. It's dry. The roads are lovely. I have caffeine. I mean, I really could not complain. It is so delightful. I have I have a few G-Shocks with me, and I'm going to do a G-Shock change after this one, because I still have a couple more that I haven't tried on yet, and I thought I would enjoy this coffee first. And what I might do is switch off the camera here and listen to the news report. In fact, I will do. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and then I shall come back and chat a little bit more about watches. So I thought, let's do a G-Shock change. Now, first of all, I need to have another drink of this latte. That is basically a cup Frog. Now the Frog is very cool, I like it a lot, and it's got me through the night here, but I've been waiting for the daybreak because I've got one watch here, the silver MRG, and that's the one that I haven't tried on yet, and I was waiting for the daybreak to happen so that I could put it on. Now this is the one watch. It's the MRG Silver Square, and it's the one watch. Someone asked me if I had to choose one of the G-Shocks, which is the one I would choose if I could only have one. It's the silver one with the black back and the thin red shimmering line there. And being silver, so a natural titanium colour, which is a natural dull silver colour, it is very nice. But the reason that I would choose this watch over all of them is because it's perhaps the most wearable. Silver in colour means you can wear it with anything. The thin red line on the dial gives it that visual detail. And of course it's a square and it's titanium, and this is probably the one that would be my the one that I choose. And also this happens to be the first MRG that I got, I think, and I remember when I first saw it, open the box, I thought, wow, it is such a cool watch. And because it's titanium, it's light, because it's warm, titanium is a really good material for warm environments, and so this is the one that is still one of my favourite watches that I often wear when to look smart or the weather's nice and warm. And these two MRGs actually, they are very nice. They do feel very premium. This one, I suppose, feels a little bit more premium. I don't know why. It might be because of the contrasting black gloss and the gold detailing. I think this is what makes it look very nice. And it's this sort of colorway, color pattern that I thought, if Casio makes an MRG King, if it followed this colorway, that is going to look so good. Or of course the colorway of the B5000R, so that's a current MRG release. It's basically this body on a rubber bracelet with a more muted dial. I'm trying to remember if it has a thin red. It doesn't have a thin red line. I think it has a thin beige line or something more muted than this. But imagine an MRG King version of this, but with this colorway. I think that would look really nice. And I suppose having the silver one here and this black one, the pair of them, they are. I know it's the same watch, but the colorway difference is something that. Because I think I'm a bit strange, because I do have two watches of the same watch. In fact, the squares, I've got a few that are all the same. The only difference is the colorway change. And I thought to myself, what does that mean? Does it mean I've got a problem, or does it mean I just like different colors, or is something else going on? It probably means I just like different colors, and the color change is enough. The color differential is enough to create a value differential for me to want to buy the thing. So that's why I have the same watch in a few different colors. And then I thought, does it mean I'm a collector? And I then thought, well, I suppose it does mean that, because also when whenever I get a watch, I get it in the knowledge that I might sell it or give it away, but it's something that but saying that though, the current collection is you know, I've got these things and I've thought to myself, you know, I want to collect them. I enjoy collecting them, and I enjoy the journey of collecting them, and I like having them in the collection because they are good reference points. So over the years, having the pieces that I've had for a few years and having them to compare against the later models, I find that very interesting. Also, what I find interesting is that the older models I tend not to wear. Well, actually I say that, but that's not true, because I'm always wearing the Porter, and the Porter was one of the metal squares that I got back, you know, it's 5 years now. This is back in 2018, this model. So I have had that for a while, and so yeah, so maybe I've got this collecting thing going on, and you know, I'm very G-Shock heavy. I'm very Full Metal Square G-Shock heavy, which is concerning. And again, I do like mechanical watches. I really like the Omega Speedmaster. In particular, I like the one I have, the Mark II version, and yeah, you know, I do like that, but I do keep prioritizing the G-Shocks. Now, I think one of the main reasons for that is because I swap and change these watches so often. Having to set the time on them is a bit of a nuisance, and of course, because these are all Bluetooth and multiband 6, they're always they're always in time. So whenever I open these boxes and grab one and then work out what t-shirt I'm going to put on, I know the time will be correct. And when I've before grabbed one of the Omegas and put that on, and I've had to change the time, it's been something that I know is ridiculous because it only takes you 30 seconds to set the time. I've often thought, hold on, I'm too busy, I haven't got time for that. I've taken the Omega off and I've swapped it for a G-Shock, and then I've walked off. And so that is interesting that I am that ridiculous, and I should be interacting with the mechanical watch because people like that. I like it as well, but I am often quite busy, and so it's why going to the G-Shock does seem to be, you know, it seems to match my busyness at times. And I've always got a watch that I, you know, really like and I want to throw on. And like the new Captain America, which is this one, the blue and gold square. And I haven't had chance to actually wear this yet. This has only been on my wrist for videos and some photographs. I literally have not worn it for more than 5 seconds because I'm waiting to go somewhere like the supermarket or the kebab shop, and then you know, I'm going to wear this. This is a great watch for the supermarket or the kebab shop or the smartest restaurant on the planet. I'm not really a restaurant person, but if I was going to a fancy restaurant, this is a watch that I'd probably wear actually. And I know where I would wear this watch: in a business meeting, and I would be quietly looking at who has clocked it, and if there's a watch enthusiast in that business meeting, they're going to pull this one out. This will not escape. Someone, if they're a watch enthusiast, is going to say, "Excuse me, are you wearing the Captain America?" And at that point, the business meeting is derailed for the next 20 minutes whilst we chat about wristwatches. And I'm actually speaking from real life evidence there. And once again, look at this. These two watches, they seem completely different watches to me. And someone's going to say, hold on, that guy is wearing the exact same watch, but one looks like it's got a blue bezel, and that's the only difference they can see. But for me, these watches are definitely different. the Captain America is stainless steel, so it is heavier than the G-Shock, and it's very shiny. I really like the shininess. Now, also, I forgot the module reference. The module reference for actually all these squares, they all have different module references. The Captain America is the 3549. The normal full metals is 3459, I think. Gosh, I need to double check that, but it is definitely a different module. So they have updated the module in the Captain America, and the module in the MRG is different again, and I don't remember the number, but it is different from these two, and it's different from the module here. So these three watches here, the MRG, the GMW Captain America, and the GMW Porter, they all have different module references, although the modules do look identical, and functionally they are all identical. But the MRG and the Porter, for example, the displays are just ever so slightly different, so they must have done some the MRG has a sapphire crystal, that might be making the display look a little different, and the display on the Captain America, that's definitely different because it has a very gentle gold hue, and when I put it up against the Porter, for example, that gold hue is there. I don't know if it's the reflection from the gold detailing on the dial bezel thing there, the bit on the inside that's gold. I don't know if that's reflecting on the display, but there is a gold tone, and it's really nice as well. And the Porter is definitely a more neutral, whiter tone, and I do like the Porter still. These little subtle changes that Casio do to each of the models, it does create so much visual interest. And as I'm looking at the Captain America now, I am thinking I really like it. That is very, very cool. What I should do is put on the C-Tron Captain America whilst I've got this one, so I can put on. So I've got both Captain Americas. I do like the C-Tron. I don't know what it is about this watch, but there is something so cool. There you go. I mean, it's the same colorway, and even though it's a little smaller, that doesn't bother me at all. But there is something very pleasant about the C-Tron, and I love the fact that this is a 1970s design, and that's the 1980s. So you can see that G-Shock at the time, because that would have represented, 38 millimeters, 40 millimeters. That would have in the 70s. That would have been a large men's watch, and then G-Shock came along and knocked out the square in 1983, and the total distance across here, I think it's about 44, 45. That would have been a real big deal. That would have been huge. Today, this does not feel huge at all. It just feels like a nicely sized watch. When I put the C-Tron on, I mean, my initial reaction wearing the C-Tron was that it was titchy. That was the word that popped into my mind. I thought, this is a small watch, but I've really grown to like it. Oh gosh, this coffee. And I'm going to take a pause whilst I drink this coffee. That coffee was from a vending machine at the gas station, and it was very, very good. It was simply a large latte, which is it's such a good drink when you're in the car. And I wish I'd got two now, although the reason I drank it then was because it was starting to get cold, and I wanted to drink it warmer. But where was I? Oh, hold on, I've got a junction coming up. I need to just make sure that I'm there. I think we're okay. Yes, the 7-1 got it. I'm just going to swing on the roads that are going to take me towards Toulouse now, and I'm going to just concentrate for a few moments. No, okay, I'm in the right lane. I'm just going to come over. So where was I? I was at the Captain Americas and the Square and the C-Tron, and this colourway is brilliant. And I imagine in a year's time, when I pull these bad boys out, because I literally do wear all the watches I have, I've got a feeling that the Square, I'm going to wear this more than I realise. And the C-Tron, I do like that as well. And yeah, I do like these. But I keep thinking about the MRG 56 King. And I keep thinking, you've got to make it Casio. A King MRG has got to be the way forward. And if I do remember, and if I'm watching this, I will pop in a picture of the King right now. So imagine, hopefully I'll have done this. The photo will appear now, and imagine that in titanium with the MRG treatment. It's a little bit like what Mercedes do with their AMGs, and Brabus. They really jazz up their models. Although when MRG G-Shock, it's a different ball game. The build quality is the next level. When you go from the full metal GMW and you hit the MRG, because this MRG here, it does feel like that Switzerland build the thing. It does feel like it's been made with Swiss engineering. The finishing of the surfaces, the screw heads, the applied bits and pieces, you can tell the build quality difference in these MRGs. The strap, the way the clasp locks into place, the way it sounds, you can tell that the machining tolerances on these MRGs, it is different. Even though the machining tolerances on the full metals is very good, and for what it costs, I think the value in these squares is fabulous. But the MRGs do take it up a few different notches, and they are producing, in my opinion, Switzerland quality watches. Of course they are digital, and some people really, digital doesn't mean much to them, but for some reason I really like digital, and that brings me on to another topic actually. I don't think I'll do it now because I'm going to negotiate this traffic, and I don't want to drive everyone crazy with boredom, but I shall just negotiate the traffic coming up and speak in a moment. I just wanted to show you the péage because I get a moment's break actually whilst I'm paying. So there we go. That was quite expensive actually, but that was a long bit of road. But I think I have another one of those. Anyway, there you go. So I've just stopped for at a gas station because I am tired now. Grabbed a little coffee. I'm not sure that having a coffee when you've been up so long. This is only my 4th cup the whole day, but I thought I'd give it a whirl because because I am tired, and I've got another 2 hours 40 minutes, and I think I've been going about 15 hours now, maybe 16, yeah. So this is when you get tired, but because I've stopped and I've just had a very short walk, been to the bathroom, and yeah, tired though. Anyway, I do intend to, at least when I get to the very end, be in a state to press play on the video, but we shall see. So that's literally a 5-minute stop, and I've stretched my legs, gone to the bathroom, got a little coffee. Has made a difference. I feel. I do feel much better, considering how I was feeling. But I am 16 hours in. Yeah. So 168 miles to go. It feels nothing actually, and 2.25, nearly 3 hours left. 2 hours 43 minutes. It feels nothing. It feels like a little trip to the corner shop. So I do feel I'm almost back. I'm almost there, and that's rather good. And I'm just worried that this video might be so terrible. But do remember that no script, no planning, absolutely zilch in the preparation for this video. So I simply jumped in the car and thought to myself, why don't I prattle on about wristwatches and see how we get on? And when I finish this coffee, maybe I will have one little story to tell you. Okay, I'll finish the coffee first. That coffee is either going to make me fall asleep, or it's going to wake me up, and we should know soon. Okay, let me squeeze out this. So as you may know, I don't know if I have. It is an intention of mine to design and have built a wristwatch. Now, initially, I've designed 3 watches. Somebody else has actually produced the 2D CAD drawings, but I've put together the designs, and they are mechanical watches. One's a field watch, one's a diver, and one's a chronograph. And the inspiration has really come from Seiko, Rolex, and Omega. Although I would say, Seiko, Rolex, IWC, and Omega. Those 4 brands have definitely provided my design vibe, if you like. In fact, I would say IWC and Seiko perhaps the strongest feeling, but the designs are all of it is my design, and so there's nothing that different in the designs, but all the dimensions, the dial, everything is just slightly different, and they look very good. And I must have put them somewhere, but anyway. Now the other watch that I'm wanting to build is actually a digital watch, and the digital watch is probably of more interesting to me, because it is digital, and what I'm planning to make doesn't really exist in the marketplace. So if it was made, it would really be unique. Now the specification, and well, the technical specification would be similar to Casio G-Shock, because my intention is that it has solar panel, it has Bluetooth, and it has multiband 6. Although the multiband 6 might be something that I don't need to have, and there might be a business case not to have it, because it would be picking up the time synchronization via a Bluetooth connection. But because I would like it to stand alone like a G-Shock, that means the multiband 6 there is a good function to have. But when I last looked, there was an intention to stop the multiband 6 service around the world, because of technology's progressed and it's not needed. And then someone did say that wasn't the case, and there is still technology that uses the multiband 6 time sync around the world. So therefore, clocks and watches that use that, that's a good thing. And for some reason, I like the idea of having multiband 6 solar Bluetooth, like a G-Shock, and the functionality that I'm hoping to have built in. It will be similar to G-Shock, but not identical. But it will have a timer, a stopwatch, world time, for example. But it will be done a little bit differently. Now, where the difference is going to take place is the display, because I've looked at e-paper displays like Seiko actually a couple of years ago had a watch out, a digital watch that had an e-paper display, and I really liked that watch, and in fact I even owned two, and like an idiot I think I sold both of them, because these were premium watches, they wasn't very good. But the e-paper display was on the first one a little bit slow, and I think they'd literally they'd increased the speed by 2 on the second, and I thought that performance was definitely usable, and but I then wanted to consider a display that's even better than that. So I started looking at all the technologies that are available to offer a very crisp monochrome display, like the display here on this G-Shock Square, but to make the display even more clear. And also I wanted it light reflective, so in sunshine it would actually illuminate the monochrome display. And so this is all technology based, and it can be done. But one of the stumbling blocks that I'm coming across very quickly is number one, cash for the research and development, basically putting together the designs of an integrated circuit board and all the development that goes around building a module. It's very expensive, but once you've done the hard work and you've built the integrated circuit for the circuit board, a lot of value has been built, but then you are really hoping to recoup that investment via selling lots of units. So you really have to work out what you think you are going to sell over the years, over the life cycle of the thing that you are making. Now, the design of it would be very 70s inspired. So think a Seiko digital LCD watch of the 70s with a stainless steel case, 4 buttons, and a nice bracelet. That is essentially one of the design cues that I have, but it's with today's technology. Once again, solar, Bluetooth, multiband 6, and a very high contrast and very nice monochrome digital display. One of the problems with e-paper is the cycling rate, because you can only have it changing every second. And obviously digital watches, the LCD part can actually change instantaneously as you're looking at it. But e-paper, there is a time delay, and so you have to really factor that into design and the usability of it. Anyway, that obviously is a video all by itself, and I would love to get myself into a position where I can make a video, show you the designs and show you the progress of the engineering that's going into designing the integrated circuit board, the module. And I feel like saying that in my experience, the two big things, the two barriers to entry in making a wristwatch really are the manufacture or the obtaining of the movement, and then the investment. There's no point not mentioning the investment because what I'm trying to do requires a lot of cash in the research and development and the building of actually both movements. The mechanical movement is a lot easier to get because there are a number of providers like Lejuperay, ETA, Solita, and there are many others. And all these manufacturers, they all make very excellent quality movements, but you are locked into the feature set of that movement. So what I have done is, with my field, diver and chronograph, I've actually built the watch around the feature set of some very common movements. So that's how you're able to, and this is how a lot of micro brands, make a wristwatch. There's no way that you can really have an in-house movement from the very beginning. The investment would be many hundreds of thousands of pounds, and even then you'd probably be getting your hairsprings from someone or some other components. It is similar for the electronic module because I am wanting to. There are some modules that you can buy off the shelf, but that really will give the watch a very cheap feeling, because it would be obvious that the electronics have been bought off the shelf, and that I'm really housing a module and functionality that's already been created. So that's why I wanted to build an electronic module from the ground up, but it is very expensive, but also very exciting and very interesting, because I'm literally in a position where I'm able to design the whole thing from scratch. But once again, the money that's involved on a business plan, you have to convince someone, investor or investors, that investment over the long term and the value build proposition is going to equate to sales being made of the watch. So it's like a juggling act, and the digital watch is expensive, but from a personal point of view, it is so interesting for me. Anyway, I thought I would just briefly tell you about my desire to make a wristwatch, and because I'm 17 hours in, I'm tired. I'll stop there, because I don't think I'm going to be able to talk much more about watches. I think there'll be one more shot of me arriving where I need to be, and in one piece, looking like I've been hit by a truck, and that'll be the end of this video. The pain and torture will be over. Anyway, I am tired now. Anyway, I shall say ciao for now. I thought I would show you the last péage of this journey, and these things are quite cute, I suppose. But there you go. Okay. So there we go. That's through the last péage, and that's my seat belt. this everywhere around here, and it is very nice, and I like these tree-lined roads. It's very nice. It's getting hot. I think we must be up at 20 degrees. I would have thought. That is perhaps warmer actually, so that's quite nice. Anyway, nice place. There you go. I thought I'd show you this road. Hopefully the video camera is picking it up. We have these lovely trees either side, and I don't know what it's called, but it is very nice. And look at that. Anyway, so nearly there, and because it's so lovely, I thought again I would show you. I love driving around here. Every time I think I do not want to go back to London. I always want to stay. I always want to stay in France, but I'll just turn the camera around. Okay, at that, Captain America and I, we're going to call it a wrap, and it is literally minutes within exactly 20 hours door to door, minus 1.5 hours on the ferry. So that's literally, I've been driving, G-Shock and I have been driving for exactly 18.5 hours. And I feel okay, but I am ready. I'm so ready to chill out, and I probably will go to bed and get some sleep. Anyway, I hope that wasn't too painful, and I hope everybody is well, and hopefully speak to you again soon. Good morning. Now, this is a day later, or is it 2 days later? Anyway, I've caught up with my sleep. It's the morning. I have coffee, so I'm regaining consciousness. The weather is gorgeous, and I hope everybody is well, and I will hopefully make some more videos soon. Have a good morning. One last thing, I should have mentioned in the video that long journeys like that, you really do need to be not tired, and you need to pay attention to driving, and you really need to not be so ridiculous like me. And I would really think about long journeys, and I would plan them, and that sort of thing. I do not drive when you're tired, and that sort of thing. I've done that journey a few times, and long journeys I know to really think about what state I'm in, how tired I am feeling, and my driving is often very defensive. Is that the right word? So I'm constantly thinking about traffic, and in particular motorbikes, because they are very vulnerable on the road, like cyclists. But motorbikes in particular are unbelievable. And whilst I was zooming down, there were a couple of bikes behind me, and I could see them about a mile away. And a moment later, they were right behind me, and then they shot either side of me. And if I hadn't have been looking for them, I wouldn't have seen them. And if I'd have turned lane, all I can imagine is I would have hit one of them. So safety on roads, it is actually a big thing, and please definitely don't drive sleepy. Don't drive, in fact, only drive when you are on top form, you feel great, and you are in a defensive mood, so that you are constantly thinking about other road users and about what you are doing, and the fact that you're in charge of a motor vehicle and it's zooming ahead. and you really want to be thinking about the safety aspect of driving. And I thought I should quickly mention that. Anyway, ciao for now. I really need to end this video, but Captain America, look at that. I thought I have to show you this. Isn't that cool, huh? Against the water there and the green. Look at that. Isn't it cool? I don't think the green is in focus. Hold on. Yeah, let me put that back in focus there. But hopefully I've caught that if I just change the position. Look at the colour. I do like this Captain America. I've really grown. The colour's grown on me. I mean, I think I said that. But isn't it cool? I do like it. I really like it. I keep wearing it, so that must mean that I think it's nice. Anyway, there you go, Captain America.